The gleaming spires of New Geneva stretched towards the stars, a testament to humanity's aspirations beyond their home planet. In a high-rise conference room overlooking the city, Ambassador Adele Bray stared out the window, her reflection betraying the weariness etched across her face. For the past 3 years, she had dedicated every waking moment to a seemingly impossible task brokering peace between the Zorn Empire and the Vex Confederation. Ambassador Bray, they're ready for you, her aide's voice crackled through the intercom. Adele straightened her jacket and turned towards the door. Time to make history, she murmured, striding purposefully into the hallway. The conference room fell silent as Adele entered. To her left sat the towering, insectoid representatives of the Zorn Empire, their compound eyes glittering with barely concealed hostility. To her right, the serpentine Vex delegates coiled in their hover chairs, forked tongues flicking nervously. The esteemed delegates, Adele began, her voice steady and clear. For centuries, your peoples have been locked in a conflict that has scarred worlds and extinguished countless lives. Today we have the opportunity to end this cycle of destruction. As Adele spoke, holographic displays flickered to life, showing the devastation wrought by the war. Planets reduced to ash, refugee fleets drifting aimlessly through the void, entire species extinct in the crossfire. Humanity may be new to the galactic stage, she continued, but we bring with us a fresh perspective. We've studied your conflict, your cultures, your needs, and we believe there is a path forward that benefits all. Over the next several hours, Adele masterfully navigated the complex web of alien politics and centuries-old grievances. She proposed innovative solutions, shared governance of disputed systems, cultural exchange programs, and a revolutionary resource-sharing agreement that would eliminate the original causes of the war. When tensions flared, she countered with empathy and logic. When progress stalled, she introduced novel concepts that piqued the aliens' curiosity. Slowly but surely, the impossible began to seem possible. As the final terms were hammered out, Adele noticed something peculiar. The lead negotiators for both sides, Zorn Hive Commander X-Thark and Vex Arch-Counselor SS-Espin, exchanged a look that seemed almost conspiratorial. But before she could dwell on it, the room erupted in a cacophony of alien sounds that her translator rendered as cheers and applause. The Galactic Concord was signed with great fanfare. As Adele watched the Zorn and Vex representatives grudgingly clasp appendages, she felt a surge of pride. Humanity had done what no other race had managed in living memory. They had brokered peace among the stars. Later that evening, as celebrations echoed across New Geneva, Adele found a quiet moment alone on a balcony. She gazed up at the night sky, imagining a galaxy no longer torn apart by war. A shooting star streaked across the heavens, and for a moment she allowed herself to believe it was an omen of the bright future ahead. Little did she know, in a cloaked ship orbiting high above, Hive Commander X-Thark and Arch-Counselor SS-Spin were meeting in secret. The humans suspect nothing, X-Thark kittered. SS-Spin's tongue flicked out in amusement. Their Ambassador Bray believes she has achieved the impossible. Their hubris blinds them. Excellent, X-Thark's mandibles clicked in satisfaction. Then let the true battle plan commence. Soon Earth will be ours, and the galaxy will remember why they feared the Zorn and Vex. As the conspirators plotted humanity's downfall, Adele Bray slept soundly, dreaming of peace among the stars, unaware that she had unknowingly set the stage for Earth's greatest challenge. The Plaza of Unity in New Geneva buzzed with excitement. Holographic banners depicting clasped hands, human, Zorn, and Vex fluttered in the breeze. At the center of it all stood Ambassador Adele Bray, her normally stoic demeanor cracking under the weight of her smile. Today marks a new chapter in galactic history, Adele's voice boomed across the plaza. The Galactic Concord proves that with patience, understanding, and creativity, even the deepest wounds can heal. As the crowd erupted in cheers, Adele's aide, Kai Yoshida, watched from the sidelines. While he shared in the general elation, a nagging doubt gnawed at the edges of his mind. Weeks passed, and Earth basked in its diplomatic triumph. Adele became a household name, her face gracing magazine covers and holo ads. But in the depths of the Terran Defense Network headquarters, Kai found himself working late nights, poring over data streams. It started with small anomalies, bizarre fluctuations in subspace communications, unexpected ship movements near the former conflict zones. Most dismissed these as the usual chaos of post-war reorganization. But to Kai's trained eye, a disturbing pattern was emerging. One evening, as Kai was cross-referencing flight paths, his holocom chimed. It was Adele. "Kai, I need you to quietly pull all the data we have on Zorn and Vex fleet movements for the past month," she said, her voice low and tense. Kai's heart raced. "I've been tracking some irregularities, Ambassador. I was going to bring them to you, but—" "Show me everything," Adele interrupted. "Now." Hours later, in a secure briefing room, Adele stared at the holographic display, her face ashen. Kai's data painted a clear picture. Both the Zorn and Vex were amassing their forces, using the peace treaty as cover to reposition their fleets. "They're coordinating," Adele whispered. "All this time. They were working together." Kai nodded grimly. "And based on their trajectories, there's only one possible target." Before Adele could respond, alarms blared throughout the building. Emergency channels exploded with chatter as reports flooded in from Earth's outer defense perimeters. Admiral Smith's hologram materialized in the room, his face grim. "Ambassador Bray, we have a situation. A massive combined Zorn-Vex fleet just dropped out of hyperspace. They're demanding Earth's immediate and unconditional surrender." Adele's mind raced, processing the betrayal, the danger, the sheer audacity of it all. But as shock gave way to determination, she straightened her back and faced the Admiral. "Like hell we will," she growled. "Admiral, initiate Defense Protocol Omega. I'll address the planet." She turned to Kai. "Get me every scrap of intelligence we have on their technologies, tactics, everything. We're going to need every advantage we can get." As Adele strode towards the global broadcast studio, the first explosions lit up the night sky. The Zorn-Vex invasion had begun, and humanity faced its darkest hour. But in that moment of crisis, something awakened in the human spirit: a fierce determination, a refusal to succumb. As Adele's voice rang out across the planet, rallying humanity to stand against the alien betrayal, millions rose to the challenge. The aliens thought they had crafted the perfect trap. They were about to learn that humanity was far more dangerous when cornered. The skies over Earth's major cities burned with the fire of orbital bombardments. Zorn dropships descended like angry hornets, while Vex energy weapons carved swaths of destruction across the landscape. Panic gripped the planet as the true scale of the invasion became apparent. In the chaos of those first hours, Adele Bray's voice became a rallying cry. Broadcasting from a secured bunker, she addressed the planet. "Citizens of Earth, we face our greatest challenge. We've been betrayed, but we are not defeated. Remember, humanity thrives in adversity. We've survived ice ages, plagues, and our own destructive nature. We will survive this." As Adele coordinated with world leaders, Kai Yoshida found himself thrust into the role of tactical advisor. His in-depth analysis of alien technologies was proving invaluable. "Their shields," Kai explained to a group of military strategists. "They're calibrated against their own weapons. They never expected to fight us. That's our advantage." Around the globe, humans showcased their legendary adaptability. In New York, hackers repurposed traffic control systems to disrupt Zorn ground forces. In Mumbai, Bollywood special effects teams used their expertise to create holographic decoys, confusing Vex targeting systems. In a stroke of ingenious desperation, the Japanese repurposed their Gauss train network into a makeshift mass driver, launching kinetic projectiles at low-orbiting alien ships. The first strike took out a Zorn cruiser, sending a surge of hope through human-resistant cells. Adele worked tirelessly, coordinating global efforts and maintaining morale. But it was during a briefing with Kai that a crucial discovery was made. "Ambassador," Kai said, excitement breaking through his exhaustion, "I've been analyzing their communication patterns. There's a massive blind spot in their sensor networks. They're virtually deaf to a significant portion of our EM spectrum." Adele's eyes widened as the implications sank in. "Can we exploit this?" "Absolutely," Kai nodded. "I'm thinking large-scale EMP weapons, electronic warfare like they've never seen. We could blind them, maybe even shut down their ships entirely." As this plan, dubbed Project Blindside, went into rapid development, human forces began a series of daring guerrilla attacks. In the Amazon, native guides led commandos to ambush Vex patrols. Australian outback survivors used their harsh landscape to trap and destroy Zorn scout ships. Each small victory fed the flames of human resolve. News spread through hidden channels, bolstering resistance and sparking innovation. In hidden labs and makeshift workshops, humans worked feverishly to adapt and improve their technology. The turning point came 2 weeks into the invasion. A coordinated strike using hastily constructed EMP cannons caught a major alien assault force off guard. Hundreds of ships hung dead in orbit, their crews helpless as human fighters moved in. For the first time since the invasion began, the aliens were on the defensive. As reports of the victory spread, cheers erupted from hidden bunkers and resistance camps across the globe. In the command center, Adele allowed herself a small smile as she watched the tactical display. Humanity had weathered the initial storm. Now, it was time to take the fight to the stars. Turning to her staff, her eyes blazing with determination, Adele declared, "Prepare our counteroffensive. It's time to show these aliens why you should never underestimate humanity." The room erupted in cheers. Earth was battered, but unbroken. And now, against all odds, they were about to take the fight to the enemy's doorstep. The mood in the war room was tense, but charged with a newfound energy. Adele Bray stood before a holographic display of the galaxy, her eyes fixed on the blinking dots representing Zorn and Vex strongholds. Project Blindside was a success, she announced, but it's only the beginning. We need to take this fight beyond Earth. Kai stepped forward, pulling up schematics of a sleek spacecraft. Introducing the Phoenix-class stealth frigate. It's equipped with our most advanced EM cloaking technology and weaponized EMP systems. Admiral Smith nodded approvingly. How soon can we deploy? The first squadron is ready now, Kai replied. But we need an edge intelligence on their core worlds. Adele's expression hardened. Then, it's time I returned to the diplomatic arena, not as a peacemaker this time, but as Earth's avenger. Over the next few days, Adele embarked on a perilous mission. Using old diplomatic channels and the chaos of the ongoing conflict, she slipped through enemy lines to meet with representatives of neutral alien races. Her message was clear: Earth stood against tyranny, and they were asking for support. Meanwhile, Earth's first counteroffensive began. The Phoenix Squadron, led by Admiral Smith, struck at key Zorn and Vex supply lines. Their EMP weapons wreaked havoc on enemy fleets, leaving them vulnerable to conventional attacks. Back on Earth, Kai made a startling discovery. Digging through captured alien databases, he uncovered evidence of long-standing corruption and exploitation within both the Zorn and Vex empires. It's not just their leaders, Kai explained to Adele over a secure channel. Both empires have been systematically oppressing entire species, entire star systems. Adele's eyes gleamed. This is exactly what we need. Kai, compile everything you found. We're going to turn their own people against them. As Earth's forces pushed outward, liberating human colonies and striking at enemy installations, Adele's diplomatic efforts bore fruit. Several neutral races, impressed by humanity's resilience and swayed by evidence of Zorn and Vex atrocities, pledged their support. The tide of war began to turn. Human-led coalitions struck at the heart of enemy territory. The Phoenix frigates, now augmented with alien technologies, proved devastatingly effective. But the most significant blow came from within the enemy empires themselves. Using the intelligence Kai had uncovered, Earth launched a massive information campaign. Broadcasts detailing the corruption and lies of the Zorn and Vex leadership spread like wildfire through their territories. Riots erupted on Zorn hive worlds. Vex colony chains broke away from central control. What had begun as an invasion of Earth was quickly becoming a revolution that spanned the galaxy. In a bold move, Adele personally led a mission to contact rebel factions within both empires. Her years of diplomatic experience, combined with humanity's recent military successes, made for a compelling argument. Your leaders betrayed not just Earth, but you, she told a gathering of Zorn and Vex dissidents. Join us, and together we'll forge a new future, one of true equality and cooperation. As more and more enemy forces defected, the once mighty Zorn and Vex war machines began to crumble. Earth's fleets, bolstered by allies and rebels, pushed towards the enemy homeworlds. In the war room, Adele and Kai stood before the galactic map, watching as more and more systems turned to their side. "We're almost there," Adele said softly. "One final push." Kai nodded, his expression a mix of determination and disbelief at how far they'd come. The final battle for the fate of the galaxy. Adele squared her shoulders. "Send the word to all fleets. We end this now." As the orders went out, ships across the galaxy prepared for the final confrontation. The combined fleets of Earth and its allies dropped out of hyperspace above the twin homeworlds of the Zorn and Vex. The scene was chaos. Rebel factions clashed with loyalist forces, while the remnants of the once mighty empires struggled to mount a cohesive defense. Aboard the flagship Terran Hope, Adele Bray stood on the bridge, her face illuminated by the flashes of distant explosions. Admiral Smith's voice crackled over the comm. "All ships in position, Ambassador. We await your command." Adele took a deep breath. "This is Ambassador Bray to all allied forces. Remember why we fight today, not for vengeance, but for a future where no species need fear subjugation or betrayal. Commence operation." The battle that followed would be remembered for generations across the galaxy. Human ingenuity shone as Earth vessels executed complex maneuvers that confounded enemy tactics. EMP weapons, now refined to surgical precision, disabled key enemy ships without harming potential allies. On the ground, Kai led a team of human and alien hackers in a daring cyber assault on the central command structures of both empires. As defenses crumbled, the truth of their leaders' corruption spread to every corner of Zorn and Vex society. The turning point came when Adele, in a bold and risky move, opened a direct channel to the citizens of both worlds. Her impassioned speech, broadcast across all frequencies, laid bare the lies of their regimes and offered a vision of a united, free galaxy. "Your leaders promised you dominion over Earth," she declared. "Instead, we offer you partnership. Join us in building a future where the strengths of all our species create something greater than the sum of its parts." Her words, coupled with the undeniable evidence of their leaders' treachery, sparked a full-scale revolution. Zorn hives erupted in insurrection, while Vex chain links shattered as countless individuals chose freedom. Within hours, the corrupt leadership of both empires surrendered. As the dust settled, Adele found herself at the center of a monumental task reshaping the political landscape of the galaxy. In the weeks that followed, representatives from dozens of species gathered on a neutral space station. Adele, with Kai at her side, led the negotiations for a new galactic alliance. The principles were clear: mutual respect, shared prosperity, and ironclad protections against the kind of exploitation that had fueled the old empires. As the new charter was signed, Adele couldn't help but reflect on the journey. What had begun with a betrayal had led to humanity's ascension as a major galactic power. Yet it was not dominance they sought, but partnership. 5 years later, Adele stood on the observation deck of Unity Station, the headquarters of the new galactic alliance. Ships of all designs and origins bustled about, a testament to the thriving interspecies cooperation. Kai joined her, datapad in hand. "The latest reports from the reconstruction efforts on the former Zorn and Vex worlds," he said. "It's remarkable how quickly they're adapting to democratic systems." Adele nodded, a small smile on her face. "And to think, none of this would have happened if they hadn't tried to conquer us." Humanity's greatest strength, Kai mused, turning setbacks into opportunities. As they watched a group of young diplomats, human, Zorn, Vex, and a dozen other species chatting animatedly as they passed by, Adele felt a surge of pride and hope. "We've come so far," she said softly, "but our journey is just beginning. The galaxy is vast, and there's so much more to explore, to learn." Kai grinned. "Well, if there's one thing the galaxy has learned, it's to never underestimate humanity." Thank you so much for listening to this story. I hope you loved it. Please remember to subscribe if you did like it so you can see more videos like this. And please give us a like and a comment too. I'll see you in the next one.